Hi, welcome back to Good News Farming. Blessings to you and your families. Yeah, today's video is going into our hives that we had last year. So we had them die out earlier in the season. We had problems with losing our queens, and a whole bunch of other things that we still need to do. So we're actually gonna figure out, we're gonna go through the hives. There's a little man, Katzfed, say hi.
Hi.
And so we are gonna be going through these two hives. All right, these are the two hives. We're gonna look into them today. They're all dead and everything like that. So I guess we're just gonna take out, the frames and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe look underneath in the bottoms and stuff like that to diagnose. I know it's probably because of the queens, but more than likely it was also just a number of issues, probably vaorra mites also. I didn't treat them. That's just how it is when you're, a brand new beekeeper and you make mistakes and stuff like that. But, that's how we learn. And every time we learn something new is just truly a blessing. So, we'll open up these hives up and we'll take a look inside of them. This one, I opened this previously. I took out, the frames and stuff like that. And, so... Well, these are the frames. Like this year they did really good. We did have a lot of honey. I would say we took out at least 100 pounds of honey out of these two hives during the season. So so it wasn't at a total loss. They definitely did give us a lot more, a lot worth what we paid for the hives and stuff like that. And not for the hives, but my dad built the hives. So in our barn, and then we have, but there was some flaws and stuff like that. We did it to spec and stuff, but it's not like the other hives that the store-bought ones. They work out a lot better than these. There was a couple of mistakes that we did with them. So we'll maybe not be using these. I don't think we're going to be using these anymore this year or next season. Well, yeah, this year. I think we're just going to end up, scratching these, either making new ones that work better for beehives, or try to maybe buy hives. So let's take a look. And here we got quite a bit in here. If you could see, there's actually quite a bit of bees in here, and I kind of want to just look through it. And when I last looked, I couldn't find the queen right before winter, and I decided that we're gonna I guess give up on them, so to speak, because if there was no queen, because I saw that there was a lot of drones and stuff. So, and I looked, and there was multiple eggs in each frame, a lot of drone brood. So it's, I made the call that more than likely there was no more queen, and that, all they were going to do is just keep eating the honey if I didn't just take it out. So we had a honey super on top, and we made the decision to take it off and leave them with whatever they had on the bottom, which wasn't a lot. So we kind of let them die out because there was just no saving them. It was already too late to make, to buy a queen and put her in, and it was just a call that we had to make. But it worked out good. There was a lot of amazing lessons to be learned with our first beehives and with their bees. I've learned a lot this last year. So I'm excited to start up another year of these beehives. It's such an amazing thing to watch them work in the way that, you know, the father, you know, organizes and creates all, you know, his magnificent works in his creation. And just seeing how hardworking these bees are, and just the way that they're designed, and it's just the form they have. It's just truly beautiful. And I enjoy working with them, and I encourage anybody that ever was looking into maybe trying to do bees. It's definitely something cool to get into, and it's very rewarding, and a lot of and honey is delicious. So we got this hive. I'm gonna kind of like sweep through it and kind of check and see maybe if I could find a queen. I doubt that I'm gonna find her, because if I didn't, you know, but there's a lot more than I think in this hive. So I'll definitely want to take a look really quick in that. I'll set this camera down right here. All right. Okay, let's see if that works. All right. So.
Watch out. The bee's gonna kill you.
No, they're not gonna kill me. Daddy's just looking to see. I see a lot of vaorra mites on the bottom of this box, so it definitely does look like you know, they did have vaorra mites. So, you know, I think if they had the queen, and since I didn't treat them, they would have probably wouldn't have made it regardless. So I guess it was, you know, it was a good call on my part to just to go through with just leaving them. You know, it was disappointing, because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to have beehives, you know, to overwinter and be able to have them for next year. But, you know, I'm going to try and get bees this year that are more local. These were from Georgia. So, you know, I'm gonna try and get these from I found some organizations of local beekeepers in the Indiana area, Northwest Indiana. So I'm gonna, you know, get in contact with them and probably get some nukes from them, and see if those work out better, since they're more local and more adapted to the region and stuff. So that's this hive, and then we'll put this cap on really quick. Hold on, bud. All right, you gotta help Daddy.
Okay.
All right, put this cap on. All right, and then we will set this camera on this one. How about?
I need help.
All right, Daddy will help you. Thank you, buddy. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so this hive definitely has a lot less bees.
This hive has a lot of bees.
Yeah, it has a lot less bees, and seemed to be emptied out a lot sooner. So we're just gonna take these out. There's still some honey in it.
Huh?
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of honey. See? Look at all the honey, bud. See all the shiny? See how shiny it is?
Hey, can I lick
it? Maybe later, okay?
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there's some shiny honey in here too.
Hey, I want some
Huh?
to eat.
You want some to eat?
Uh-huh.
Alright, well maybe we'll find some and we'll eat it. Alright.
Maybe you can find some.
So right here, I'll show you. See this right here? This is another mistake that we kind of made with the hives. If you see that, it looks like they built, see, right here, they built extra because these frames were too high off of the bottom of the board. So then they needed a way to get up into the hive. So they don't like to fly. They don't like to fly. So what ended up happening was we had this one has a lot of honey in it. So that's just another flaw in the thing, and it works pretty nice when it all right. So when my dad constructed these, these did not have a separate bottom board. They're all kind of like one solid piece. So that's a kind of one of the big flaws that I had. You know, not being able to clean this out and stuff like that. But that was just something that, oh, maybe we wouldn't really have to worry too much about it, and that we would figure it out. You know, so, you know, all in all, this hive worked great. You know, there was some complications, you know, like sizing issues, spacing, stuff like that, that made it just a little bit difficult to get in and out of the hive effectively and quickly. So we're probably gonna go with not using these hives this year. But yeah, you could see this one. I don't know if you could see that, but there's like specks in here. Some of them are a little bit reddish, and like maybe, let's see if I can maybe point this out to you. Right there, right there, yeah. Those are vaorra mites. That's that parasite that gets attached to bees in their thorax, and it just does horrible things to hive. And it's kind of recent. I haven't done like a lot of research on them, but I know, you know, what I'm dealing with and stuff, you know, now that I had bees. And so all in all, they did a really good job with production and stuff like that. All these frames were just empty, you know, plastic. These are plastic foundations that I put inside. So, you know, they did an amazing job. I have a picture of when they were outside, when it was like during the summer. You know, it was truly amazing. How's that honey taste, bud?
Good.
So that's the beehives. We're probably just gonna clean this up and more than likely either get rid of them or, you know, I don't know, just store all of these frames. Maybe either melt the wax or try to maybe reuse them. I think they should be good size for hives that are store-bought, because my dad kind of made them to this, you know, and I thank him, you know, it's so amazing to, you know, that the Father has blessed me with a father that has the ability to make, you know, amazing things with his hands. And, you know, these things are beautiful. And I guess we'll just keep making revisions because, you know, we like the look of them and they look pretty awesome. So we want to keep making them, but they are also really heavy because they're made with oak. So, you know, there's a lot of layers. There's some plywood, oak, you know, and there's just inner linings of boards. And, you know, they're, you know, when one honey super like this, full frames and honey, you know, when it weighs, you know, 140 pounds, it gets to the point where it's too heavy, and you know, lifting it and stuff like that, it's just something that we have to look into this next season, because right now it's January, early January, well, late January, so here in Northwest Indiana. So we're gonna clean all this up. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Say thank you for watching, bud.
Thank you for watching.
And may the Father and you know, Father bless you and your families, and And I hope that you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye.
And you make them. You make them. You make them. Let's leave some left over.
Oops.
I really love honey.
Yeah, it's amazing how our father makes bees, huh? Hey, don't drop them like that, bud. Let's put these back into this one. Alrighty. Alright, let's open this one up. Excuse me. Alright, can you hand them to Daddy? Shut up. Stay over here. Still got some honey at home.
Huh?
Still got some honey in the house.
Honey.
Huh?
Honey. Why?
Because we're gonna use that. We're gonna use that.
Huh?
We're gonna use that next year. Or this year. Huh?
Why?
Because we're gonna have more bees this year.